by the 3-year-old filly, Oh Susanna. She takes the glory.
Gareth, is a beautiful old expression that says the more things change, the more things stay the same. And looking back in history to go forward is often a good idea when we reflect on big races like the Investec Derby, the Rothmans July, Vodacom Durban July. And the Sun Met has taken on the mantle of one of the greatest and longest running sponsorships in South Africa. It must be a great honour and a great opportunity.
I don't see problems, I see opportunities. And this is the third iteration of the Sun Met celebrated with GH Mumm coming up in 2019. We've learned some lessons, and I think one of the most important lessons that we have learned is that this is very much a Cape Town event. Sun International, we've got a presence all around South Africa, and I think that Cape Town, being the tourist destination that it is, and being a very proud city with proud people, they love the success of the people in the city and what comes out of the city and what comes out of the region. So I think it's something that I've most certainly learned over not only the last 2 years, but with 2018 as well, with our Miss South Africa being from Paarl, the joy that came out of that Paarl region in Western Cape, the fact that she goes to UCT, a student there, her parents are real, they're normal folks, they're teachers, and they are just salt of the earth. There's community involved, and the homecoming that she got.
Tamarind Green, everybody! You're looking amazing, my love.
Thank you very much. I feel like an African princess because that's the theme for the Sun Met, right?
What we really have to do is we've got to make sure we get the people back. So we've got to make sure that the price is right for people to come in, enjoy themselves on the day. And you're so right. Looking back in history, this was always the people's race, and we most certainly want to do that. We want the crowds back.
I suppose there's an element of irony, really, when you look at the overlap between the purist racegoer and the yet-to-be-initiated fan. Now, if you take a look at the results of the last 3 Sun Mets, Smart Call, Mary Slack, Jessica Slack, international connotations immediately. Whiskey Baron, the same thing happened. And now, Oh Susanna, who's an internationally bred filly, owned by the Queen of South African horse racing, she's back to defend her title. But Team Snaith have got a horse that's won the Vodacom Durban July and do it again. It's all very, very powerful and very exciting for Team Snaith.
Yeah, it most certainly is, and I must say that Team Snaith have. I must say that they, from an outsider's point of view, and for us dealing with people in racing, as young guys, in a way, it's a relatable sort of thing. And I think from a PR and a marketing side, not only the fact that they had a winner last year, but they've got the favourite this year, and making the horses available for us to come out and see and interact with, with some of our marketing tools as well.
The beach.
Yes, absolutely, and that's become one of the favourite things, and something that we always look at it as a great PR opportunity. It's an environment where it's not totally horse racing. It's not an environment where we'll usually shoot, but we've had our Miss South Africas with those horses over the last couple of years. So really, I think fantastic. So and I must say that do it again. I was at the Queen's Plate this year. Impressive performance there. What I do like about it, and coming from a bit of a sporting background, what the Snaiths haven't done, they don't want to keep the horse in cotton wool. Yeah, it's the favourite, but hey, bring the horse down to the beach. There's a bit of interaction, and I think it also builds up a little bit on the hype of what's going to happen on the day. So I've thoroughly enjoyed this year. We've got a focus on fashion. We've had a bigger focus on horse racing this year. I mean, I've started to learn a little bit more of the history of the race as well, and my horse racing knowledge is slowly growing. But that's because the environment is such a good one, and people are so willing to teach as well, which I'm really appreciative of.
I noticed that you weren't exactly absent from the Investec Derby, and the process, I'm sure, was to learn.
I must say the sheer magnitude just of the 2 days that's there. So the first day, Ladies' Day, it's a Friday. And it's school holidays, but you got 40,000 people. The next day, almost 60,000. The Queen arrives on the Saturday. There's a great deal of pomp and ceremony around it, which I'm fully appreciative of, and the way that people do respect the dress code. Number one, Ladies' Day, and there's something about that. And then you've got the next day, which is Top Hat and Tails. I love the sense of tradition. But if anything, I was there looking at it from a sponsorship point of view as well, to see what Investec do. Unfortunately, they're not involved in South African racing anymore, but they've maintained their sponsorship with the Derby. And I think it's because of not only the clientele that they will pull there, but they want that presence. And I suppose it's looking at things going a little bit smaller, but being smarter about what you do. So I really did learn a lot at the Investec Derby, and I keep an eye on what they do at the Melbourne Cup. The sponsors of the Melbourne Cup there too. We're looking at other races around the world as well. And I suppose the ultimate goal for Sun International, and we are in this for the long run, we want to create a racing festival. At this stage, we're one day, and a festival, ideally you're looking at 2 to 3 days, but we've got to start getting the crowds back for the Sun Met on the Saturday. Once the crowds start coming and we get to that critical mass, maybe we'll go to Friday.
Well, you might not have Her Majesty the Queen attending the 2019 renewal of the Sun Met, but you have the King of Speed back again. His timing of arrival last year could ever so slightly have been adjusted for the Majorca Stakes, but I'm sure that fine-tuning will be very well taken care of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we most certainly are learning. There's ways and means around certain things, and we've got to balance the horse racing piece of it with the marketing piece of it. So Usain Bolt will be coming to Sun Met again, and we want to thank our sponsors, Mumm. He's their Chief Entertainment Officer, and he really does bring something very special to our day. And people want to be out there seeing him, maybe getting a picture, a bit of interaction, and I think it's one of the biggest drivers around the day. So from a marketing side, that works out fantastically well, and I think we're a little bit more aware of all of the elements around horse racing and how much time we've actually got to do it. So there's a little bit of tempering to do there, but I think from a sponsor's point of view as well, and also, and all credit to Kenilworth and to Pumalela, they really have given us a little bit more of a window where we can make things run just a little bit slicker as we go along. But every year's got to be bigger and better. So Bolt's coming back, and we've got a few surprises up our sleeve as well in terms of some music performances and some things that we want to provide to the public.
Well, we've talked about some very interesting nuances and issues around the side of the whole event, but what does Sun International actually really want to get out of this event?
Andrew, it's an interesting question about sponsorship. Sponsorship, I suppose the one thing first up is you've got to look at how much money you've got to leverage it. Buying the rights is one thing. Actually going out and leveraging thereafter is, you've got to mine the gold. And it's fine buying the mine if you don't have money to actually do something with that, extract it and make something.
You've got this theme on your brain, haven't you?
I do. I actually do. This precious metals thing. I just came up with that now, actually. But if anything, what we do want is a little bit more of a presence in the Western Cape. And I think that was the first sort of thinking behind it, and the thought behind getting involved in a Western Cape event was why we got involved in it late 2016 into 2017 for the 2017 event. And after that, with the running of the 2018 and now into 2019, we've really seen that, as I mentioned, this is a Cape Town event. So we've got involved in something that is particularly Western Cape and Cape Town, and that, I think, is one thing that we've got to really nail, is that to, number one, get the people back. And from a Sun International point of view, we've got 2 properties down in the Western Cape. We've got the Table Bay Hotel, which is a fantastic hotel, and many international visitors and some of the best views in Cape Town. And as a hotel, which is part of the Vienna waterfront, we've got a fantastic relationship there. And then we've got our Grand West Casino and Entertainment World as well, which does very well. It really is, and I've been there during
the
school.
People's Casino.
It is. I've been there during the school holidays in the week, and that between the ice rink, the cinema, so much to do. I mean, I've taken my kids there just once, and they absolutely love it. And they're going, why don't we come here more often? And that is what we've got to do. We've just got to grow the brand inside of the Western Cape, and just really, and it's to everybody there as well. And as you're saying, it's the people, it's something which we are building for everybody. And I think the Sun Met is there at 150 Rand a ticket with a free after party. It's a great day out, no under 18s because of the sale of alcohol, but we really do want young people, your race goers. If you haven't been to the Sun Met since Sun International have taken over, and you're still harking back to the days of the previous sponsor, hey, that's fine. Come out and have a different kind of experience.
To put the lid on it, almost to the hour, this time yesterday, I'm standing in front of the Table Bay Hotel talking to South Africa's greatest sporting ambassador ever. I put him on the spot. I said to him, who's going to win the 2019 Sun Met? I have to do the same with you.
I have got a feeling about Rainbow Bridge. It's second favourite, I know there's always big pressure on the favourites. And for the 2 Sun Mets that I have attended and been part of organising, I've never seen the favourite come to the fore. I know that Legal Eagle's always been in the mix over the last 2 years. You know, there's a lot spoken about after the Queen's Plate and all the rest. And I do like Rainbow Bridge. I wouldn't write off O Susanna though, as defending champion, also from the Snake stable. Do it again is up there. But for me, if I'm going to put any money down, I'm going to go Rainbow Bridge, and I'm going to go O Susanna.
I think Rainbow Bridge ties in nicely with all the different colour metals.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So let's see. And there's I need to look. I don't think there's a horse's name in there that really is out and out to the theme. One thing I really do want to see is I want to see the public out there having a good time. Placing a bet with Sunbet. You know, Sunbet had a fantastic day with us last year. A little bit of a change in position for them this year, but I'm really looking forward to a great day, and it's fantastic. It really is. I think Cape Town, you know, it's got a special place in my heart already. I think it's a great place to go and watch sport and be part of sport there. And I think the Sun Met is just, you know, it's growing. It's getting back on the calendar once again.